Hey, what is up, internet? Kyle here, Slapshot Toys. It is officially spooky season, and that means I get to count down some spooky movies. So what this list is going to be is my top 10 favorite movies to watch during Halloween time. Now, this isn't my actual top 10 favorite horror movies of all time, because there's a couple movies in here that, one, are not really considered horror, and two, honestly, some of these movies are kind of bad. It's just a lot of fun to watch them during the spooky season, so that's why I have included them in this list. Please don't hate me too much if this is not a true top 10 horror movie list. And the other thing I did want to address, that you guys saw the warning at the very beginning of the video, I did use a lot of graphic violence and gore in my clips for these videos. So if you are averse to blood, gore, stabbings, killings, that type of stuff, definitely stop watching the video now. But let's go ahead and start off my list with number 10. We're going to start the list off with something a little bit more family friendly, and coming in at number 10, we have The Little Shop of Horrors.
It all began in this little shop.
Little Shop of Horrors is a 1986 musical horror comedy based upon the 1982 off-Broadway play that was based upon the 1960s film. All three versions share the exact same name and basic storyline, which revolves around Seymour, a nerdy florist assistant played by Rick Moranis, who discovers a weird Venus flytrap-style plant that feeds on human blood. As the plant grows, Seymour soon finds out so does the plant's appetite, pushing Seymour into crimes he never intended to commit.
What do you want me to do, slit my wrist?
The movie is definitely a musical, so if that's not your cup of tea, definitely stay away from this film. However, if you enjoy Broadway-style music, there are so many great songs in this movie, including my personal favorite, Steve Martin's version of I'll Be a Dentist.
You have a talent for causing things. Son, be a dentist. People will pay you to be inhumane.
And of course, the infectious doo-wop main theme. The film also has a ton of great cameos, from John Candy playing the local radio DJ.
Hi, everybody, it's Weird Wink Wilkinson laughing and scratching at you. How's everybody doing today? I got a little bit of a stiff neck. Let me just fix this up. Ooh,
to Bill Murray playing a dentist-loving masochist.
I think I need a root canal. I'm sure I need a long, slow root canal. Let's go. I have a history of dental problems.
Shut up!
Yes, doctor.
But the real star of the show is Audrey 2. The giant plant puppet voiced by Levi Stubbs is nothing short of amazing.
Oh, relax, darling. It'll be easier. Come join your dentist friend and mushnik.
So if you're in for a family-friendly horror flick with great music, definitely check out Little Shop of Horrors, and that is why it is number 10 on my top 10 movies of Halloween. Coming in at number 9, we have Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and yes, that is clowns with a K, is a 1988 horror comedy film with a premise as simple as its name suggests. A group of aliens who resemble circus clowns land in a small town and proceed to hunt the townsfolk to turn them into cotton candy. If this sounds insanely cheesy,
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Well, that's because it is.
With my bare hand.
But it's cheesy in all the right 80s ways. Simply put, this movie is just flat out fun.
Nobody stores cotton candy like this.
What are you talking about? Of course it is. Look.
It knows exactly what it is and leans fully into its dark style of humor and goofy gags.
Oh, pizza.
There are some very fun and creative kills in this movie, and several moments where I still laugh out loud. But much like Little Shop of Horrors, the star of the show is the costume puppet design. Every single one of the clowns we see on screen oozes character, and the practical effects still look great even today at almost 35 years later.
Don't worry, Dave. All we want to do is kill you.
This movie definitely won't be for everyone.
What are you going to do with those pies, boys?
But if you're looking for some dumb 80s fun with killer alien clowns, then look no further. And that is why I have placed this at number 9. At number 8, we jump to the 2000s with the monster mashup, Freddy vs. Jason. And remember that warning I said about gore? This is where it starts. With the Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street franchises, there is definitely no shortage of fun horror flicks. However, the 2003 film that puts the two slasher titans toe-to-toe has to be my favorite. The story is actually surprisingly good and works very effectively in telling how these two horror universes collided. The premise is the parents of Springwood have effectively erased Freddy from the history books. Since none of the kids know or fear him, he has lost all his demonic power.
Not strong enough yet. Well, I will be soon enough.
So Freddy enlists the help of Jason.
But I found someone who make 'em remember. He may get the blood, but I'll get you.
He wants Jason to come to Springwood to kill a couple of teens to get the residents to start thinking of Freddy once again. The first 2/3 of the movie play out in standard slasher form. However, this movie really shines in my opinion when Freddy realizes Jason is taking all his kills and decides Jason is the enemy.
She's mine! Mine!
This last act turns into a frantically paced, blood and gore soaked action movie as the horror heavyweights stop at nothing to put the other back into the ground. As a fan of both franchises, it was fantastic to see the two monsters meet, and it's still a joy watching it each Halloween. That is why it's number 8. Slashing its way to number 7, we have The Babysitter. For number 7, we turn to Netflix and their original film, The Babysitter. Released in 2017, this high school cliche slasher flick tells the story of Cole, a nerdy kid who's afraid of just about everything.
I mean, it's just a needle, man. Damn, come over and get the shot. Ain't nothing to be scared of.
To the point he still needs a babysitter in middle school. One evening with his parents out of town,
Trouble, okay? Cole, don't cause any trouble.
Dad, I know.
he decides to see what his babysitter's up to when he's supposed to be asleep. Instead of finding her and her friends partying, he stumbles upon them performing a satanic ritual.
You're helping fulfill a great purpose. Things can get messy when you make a deal with the devil.
What follows is a pretty standard escape horror story. However, where the babysitter becomes a cut above the rest is its style and dark humor. This film absolutely oozes style. Director Mick G uses a lot of really cool elements to give this film a style of its own. Everything from title cards introducing characters to Cole's inner monologue being captioned on screen. This film is a visual treat. On top of that, this movie is extremely, and I do mean extremely, violent, with insanely over-the-top blood and gore effects.
That was so graphic.
And to top it all off, this movie has fantastic comedy elements.
Did you just blow up Sonya?
No.
What did that?
A firework?
A firework? Holy shit.
The movie has a ton of great witty jokes, and when they are combined with the over-the-top gore, it's simply devilishly delightful.
3 out of 4 people got an STD. I got 2 people's blood on me. You do the math, I got AIDS. I know I got AIDS.
Overall, this film really surprised me. I watched it on a whim one lazy Sunday afternoon and fell in love with its style, gore, and humor. If you are looking to kill a quick hour and 20 minutes, I highly recommend The Babysitter. That's why it's number 7. Fighting its way into the 6th spot, we have Army of Darkness. Released in 1992, Army of Darkness is the 3rd film in the Evil Dead trilogy. The story starts up directly from the events of Evil Dead 2, where our hero Ash Williams, played by Bruce Campbell, is transported by the Deadite portal to medieval times in King Arthur's court. Ash then sets off on a quest to try to find a way home as he battles the army of undead. This film is actually quite a departure from the first 2 Evil Dead movies. Where Evil Dead 2 embraced the slapstick comedy elements, it still kept the horror vibes. Army of Darkness plays out more like a gothic fantasy adventure than a true horror film. Imagine Monty Python and the Holy Grail mixed with undead monsters.
We can't hold the battlements! We will
hold! We must protect the...
While this change of pace is not an unwelcome one, it is worth noting for fans of the first two movies. While nothing here is really scary or truly horror, the movie is filled with great monster designs, awesome action sequences, and more one-liners than you can shake your boomstick at.
Here's my boomstick! Shop smart. Shop S-Mart.
Yo, she-bitch. Let's go.
Lady, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave the store.
Who the hell are you?
Name's Ash. Housewares.
While, and yes, this is a spoiler for another movie higher on my list, this movie isn't my favorite in the trilogy. There's still a ton here to love, and if you're a fan of the Evil Dead franchise, Bruce Campbell, or just campy medieval monster fun, I highly recommend Army of Darkness, and that is why it's at number 6. So that is part 1 of my top 10 favorite movies to watch Halloween list. As you guys saw, I only went through 10 through 6, and that is because when I started this project, I had no idea how much work this was gonna be. Everything from getting the clips, doing the voiceovers, like writing my little reviews. It has just been a labor of love for sure and taken me a lot longer than I anticipated. But since I've been working on it, I wanted to go ahead and get the first 5 movies out. I'll continue to work on the next 5 and that'll be available closer to Halloween. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this little first part of the list. Definitely let me know in the comments if any of these movies are some of your favorites, what your favorite Halloween movies are. I'd love to hear from you. But that is gonna do it for this part 1. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video and I will catch you guys later. See ya.